Hello, welcome to Rush Hour Revelation. I am your gracious host, author Brandy Hunt. It's always a piece of hair on this side. But as the heading says, I'm not going to keep you long today, but I was thinking about just my journey as an entrepreneur, and I always try to give back things that I've learned along the way. I have been an entrepreneur now steady entrepreneur for 5 years, and throughout the journey you just learn so much, and I just want to give back to people who are just getting started in their entrepreneurial journey to show them some of the things that I've learned along the way. So today's topic is going to be about 3 lies every entrepreneur has to come to know, and what the truth is about that lie. So we all lie to ourselves. I think they're called something like excuses. They're actually just lies. We're lying to ourselves when we tell ourselves, I can't afford it. Let's go down that road for a minute. Everybody's budget isn't the same. Everybody's goals aren't the same. Everybody, isn't going for $250,000 in the first year. Some people think that's low. Some people think that's too high. So when I say I can't afford it, let's back it up. Let's back it up a little bit and say, okay, as an entrepreneur, and I don't know what it is that you sell or whatever your service might be, but think about when you say I can't afford it. Are you saying I can't afford to be an entrepreneur? Are you saying I can't afford to provide these services? Are you saying I can't afford to keep products in order to resell them? So what is it that you really can't afford? Because what I'm thinking is that at this point in the game, you can't afford not to. You keep telling yourself, I can't afford it. I'm an author. And in order for me to sell books, I need to have books on me most of the time. I can do pre-sale, but if you'll learn as an entrepreneur, having items on hand sell faster than people wanting to leave the money with you and then purchase it and get it shipped and all of that type of thing. But if I have books in hand and I can exchange the money for the book, goes a little faster. And people sometimes buy off of impulse or off of demand, and you may not see that person again. You might follow up, they might not have the money. So having products on hand is a necessity. And so if I say, I can't afford to purchase a book so that I can sell a book, I'm also saying I can't afford to be who I am. I'm an author. So I'm literally telling God, I can't afford to be who you call me to be. No, the truth of the matter is I have not planned and patterned myself and planned accordingly so that I can afford to be who I am. I'm an author. Authors sell books. Authors get out and go to book signings, so that means that I need to have books, and I'm just using books because that's what I do. But I don't care if it's jewelry. I don't care if you sell toilet paper, pens, pencils. If you can't do anything but buy one, that's what you need to do until you can get up to that number of amount that you can have in bulk. So let's talk about what we can do, not what we can't do. So when we say we can't afford it, you're literally telling yourself, I can't afford to walk in purpose. I can't afford not to walk in purpose. I can't afford to, hi Keisha, I can't afford to walk out my dreams. I can't afford not to walk out my dreams. I can't afford to put on a conference. I can't afford not to put on a conference. So we tell ourselves, I just can't afford it. But the real thing you need to tell yourself is that I can't afford not to. So now that I know that I can't afford not to, what is it that I can afford? What is it that I can do? And write down your can do list and start there. And again, I went down to if I could only purchase one book. Okay, I'm not going to tell you my retail price is, but let's just say if I go buy a book at retail and then I go sell it, I don't need to eat my profit. See, I see a lot of entrepreneurs out here eating their profit. So I go buy a book and then I go sell the book. And instead of going to buy more books, which is what I should do, because remember I said I couldn't afford it. So since God granted me to go sell that book, I should take that profit and funnel it back into my business. And so now I can go buy 3 books and I can go sell those. Now, if I need to take some of that to buy a cheeseburger, then I'm telling myself, you know what? I'm going to put that back later. See, a lot of entrepreneurs really need some budgeting skills. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, you know what? I used to sell a book and then go eat. And then I didn't have money to go buy more books. And God had to remind me sometimes that profit is not for your consumption. Sometimes that profit is for you to plant another seed so that you can have a harvest later on. And so when we're getting into the point that we keep saying, I can't afford it, you can't afford to not do it. So what is it that you can sacrifice? Where can you sacrifice? Where is it that you can say, you know what, maybe I eat out every day. Maybe there are times that you shop. Maybe there are times that you will have to. I went 2 straight years without having cable when I first launched my business and when I first wrote my book. That was a sacrifice that I made. I also didn't shop for extra things. When I say extra things, I mean like shoes and clothes. You know, women, extra things. I also went natural. Well, I was already natural, but I was like, I put a little weave in every once in a while. So I made the sacrifices that I could make instead of continuing to say, I just can't afford it. And then you hear, okay, so I'm on TV now. You see me now, but I haven't always been on TV. For the duration of my life, the internet has been in existence. So let's just say from the time I was 17, I'm not sure what year MySpace and Facebook came out, but I've always been into social media and social platforms. Maybe you can't go on television, but this Facebook Live costs me nothing but time. I hear entrepreneurs all the time say, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I don't want to look crazy, I don't want my hair to look crazy, but you want more customers. You're going to have to sacrifice how you feel about your current present condition, about what you look like on camera, and connect with your audience. Because truth be told, people are on social media looking for what you have. And it doesn't matter if, look, paparazzi, they're killing the game in social media right now. Yes, they sell jewelry, but they're on their video selling you the jewelry. There's people out here that don't necessarily have a service-based program, but they jump on their live and they connect with their audience. So when I see people out, I've not sold you my book. I'm going to tell you the title of my book, but I haven't told, this whole video is not about my book. But when you go to Amazon or you see me out, guess what you're going to remember? You're going to remember I told you I've written 6 books, have a publishing company that's been in existence for 5 years. So if you wanted to write a book, you're going to keep me in mind when you see me later, because I've given you my presence via social media and you've connected with me on that level. So maybe now I can afford to be on TV, but 2 or 3 years ago when they asked me, I was like, no, thank you, I'm not ready. I couldn't afford to be on TV. And so, but I can afford social media, because social media is the freest platform you'll ever have. You have 4 platforms you can be on for free: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All of those platforms are free, where you can connect with people, show them your product, share your services. So that's the first lie. I can't afford it. The second lie is that I need more help. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, but I do need more help. You have to use the people that are in your direct influence as your help. And when I say help, I'm talking about maybe you need somebody to make phone calls. Maybe you need help when you go be a vendor at events. Maybe you need somebody to help you with packaging. You have to reach out to those people. You are not a one-man show. I understand that you feel like a one-man show sometimes, and I understand that, and as a woman, we think, if we don't do it, it won't get done. And as an alpha male or female, somebody that's always in control, you may feel like, well, if I don't do it, it's just not going to get done. Well, it also means that you don't trust the people on your team. And if you don't have a team, that should be one of your goals, is to get a team, because your team is what helps the dream go forth. And if you say, you know what, I haven't even never thought about reaching out to the people. Reach out to the people who reach out to you. Hey, girl, do you need some help? Hey, I see you out here grinding. Do you need me to help you package anything? Do you need me to help you make any phone calls? And if you can, I'll get you a virtual assistant. Sometimes it costs more than others depending on what you need done. But let's go back to number one. We can't afford not to do what we're supposed to be doing. I'll give myself away. I didn't want to go to the gym this morning. It's cold here. I know the northerners will say that this is the good cold, but it's cold. My bones are cold and I'm freezing. And I'm like, I can't afford it. I just can't afford to go to the gym today I just told myself, you can't afford not to go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym. I worked out in my living room, but I did what I could do, not what I couldn't do. See, we have to continue to move those excuses out the way. Every time they show up, we have to remind ourselves, what can I do? Not what I can't do. I understand that maybe I don't have $200,000 in the bank right now, but guess what I do have? And I do have social media, and I do have friends that I can reach out to. And every level, and I tell you guys this all the time, every level that you get to, when you master that level, you automatically get promoted to another level because you've maxed out that level. Are you maxing out the level that you're on? Before you keep praying to God to give you something else, before you keep praying for more customers, before you keep praying for new territory, are you maxing out in the territory and the customers that you already have? Or are you not? So you have to decide, am I maximizing where I already am, or is there room for growth? And if there's room for growth, then grow and expand right where you are with what you can afford and the people that have been assigned to help you. The last one is, nobody needs me, my services, or what I have to offer. And you may not have said this to yourself, but somebody watching this video has said, you know what? I just wrote a book, and I'm using books because that's what I do. I just wrote a book, and now that's it. It's not it. The book was like the number one thing, but what about the conferences? What about the conferences? What about the book clubs? What about the phone calls? What about the conference calls that you can have based off of your book? There's so many different spin-offs. What about a play? What about a movie? There's so many things that you can spin off of that book that you wrote, but you're thinking, oh, it's just a book. It's not just a book. It's somebody's life change. It's somebody's decision to do better or be better. And even if it's not about your personal life, like my book, Dealing with the Hand I Was Dealt, that I wrote in 2014, that it is on Amazon. It is about my life story. My father passed away when I was 12. He committed suicide. And that situation took me into low self-esteem, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, promiscuity. Well, next week, I get to go talk to some teenagers about suicide prevention. So I didn't just write a book. I'm getting ready to change lives, and I've been changing lives since the day that it hit the printer. And so you have to take what it is that God has given you and say, okay, God, help me to maximize my influence based off of what you've given me. Again, I don't care if you sell pencils or trash bags or whatever. Who else needs trash bags? What industry do I need to be in to get more people more trash bags, more pencils, more whatever it is that you have? Maybe you have a service and you don't actually have a product, because I have a product and a service. But God, send me to people who are ready to write their story, who are tired of sitting on what you've given them, who are ready to get their book out into the world. God, send me those people, so that I can maximize. If everybody in your community and state doesn't know you, then there's still work to be done. And Andre, I think he's on here, he would say, that I'm Miss Upstate and I'm well known, and I am well known. But if I don't know everybody in my community, everybody in the surrounding communities, everybody that's other influencers, that I still have work to do, and not just know them, but have made an impact, whether they bought a book, whether they got a service, service. If I say Walmart, everybody knows it. If I say Chick-fil-A, everybody knows it. If I say Toyota, everybody knows it. I need to be a household name, just like those names that I just named off. And it's not about me. I don't want to be the household name just because. I want to be a household name known for dealing with the hand I was dealt, known for Publish You, You Write, We Work, which is the name of the publishing company, known for Becoming Her, which is my life and business consulting firm. I need to be known for those things, not just Brandy Hunt, some flyby entrepreneur. She came and went. I want to leave my mark in the world, but I won't leave my mark with these 3 excuses. I can't afford it. I need more help, and nobody needs me. Somebody out there needs you. Somebody needs what you have, because guess what? You needed what you had. Before anybody needed what you have, you were your first customer. Think back. Think back to what it is that you sell or service now. You sold it to yourself first. I was my first client. I did my own marketing. I did my own branding. I sent my information to the printer. I was everything for myself. I was my social media manager. I was everything. So guess what? I was my first client for my publishing company. So now when other people come through, I know exactly what to do for them. I know exactly how to set up their business to succeed. I know, yes, not just book, business. Your book, that's a whole nother video, which is coming. Your book is not just a book. It's a business. You are selling a product, which is the definition of a business, but that's a whole nother video. So for the entrepreneurs that are watching, 3 lies that you have got to stop telling yourself. I can't afford That was my alarm. Throw me up some laughs. 3 lies you have to stop telling yourself. I can't afford it. Remember, you can't afford it. Just see what it is that you can do, not what you can't do, and max out on that level. If you can only buy one thing at a time, buy that one thing, repurchase, and then buy 2, and then repurchase and buy 3. After you sell, resow that into your next product. Don't eat it. Don't eat the profit. Sow it back into your business. And then number 2, I need more help. Maximize on the help that you have. And if then you need more help, ask the help if they have any help. And then get you a virtual assistant if you can. Add that into your budget. Again, being an entrepreneur is all about sacrifice. What is it that you can give up? What is it that you can do? What is it that you can create to create more revenue? And then 3, nobody needs me. Somebody needs what you have. Otherwise, God would not have sent you here with this purpose to complete in the earth. I love you. Talk to you tomorrow. Rush Hour Revelation.